Sports. It's in the game. EA Sports. It's in the game.
Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Dallas Cowboys. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This will be fielded at the 6. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, the former Houston Cougar, Case Keenum.
Case Keenum won't overwhelm you with his athleticism, won't wow you with his arm, but somehow, when he's on the field and he's in charge, the ball gets moved by his offensive teammates.
Now a first-time Pro Bowler from a year ago, Lamar Miller. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Draw play. This is Miller. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Throwing is Keenum on 3rd down. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
That's a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it's so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with. They have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team would say, yeah, we called him a disruptor. And that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 34-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll run it from the gun with Miller. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. The offensive starters now for the Cowboys.
And a big key is going to be how can these wideouts create separation from the defensive backs, because we've seen some early success in the passing game in this one, and that's going to need to continue.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. Well, look now at our starting defense. They come into this one ranked number 5 in the NFL against the run.
And that play right there shows exactly why they're so good against the run. Held the line of scrimmage, held the point of attack, and stuffed him for no gain.
The 7th play now of this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though. From the gun, here's Keenum. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers 16. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Now keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Back to throw, Keenum. Allen's got it complete. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. A good-looking drive for the Cowboys so far. It's a first down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
A look at the numbers from last week for Miller. 18 carries, 56 yards.
He's been a huge part of their winning streak because he establishes not just an identity and a tone, but the team relies on it. He takes care of the football, he gains yardage for him, chews up clock, and that's been a big part.
And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. Trey Boston shot through on the safety blitz for the sack.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks. Great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Now Keenum on 3rd and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Keenan Allen, his first touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by the comeback player of the year in 2018. A Pro Bowl quarterback as well a season ago, Andrew Luck.
And I thought in last week's game, he found a way to win like a good pitcher without his best stuff. I mean, he did throw 2 interceptions, offset by 1 touchdown pass. Not the ratio, not the numbers you're really looking for as a QB. But finding a way to win, that's all that really matters.
They'll run it here. This is James White. And he'll be taken down right around the 27. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. And here's the offense now. Charles, who's the guy you chose to highlight?
The tone setter, the guy in the middle, Alex Mack. His return, never good for the opposition.
From the 27, Luck. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A gain there of 21 yards. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it.
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. DeMarcus Lawrence able to record his 5th sack of the season.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. After the sack on first down, Luck. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. Here are the starters defensively for the Cowboys. They were very good last week in the win over the Saints.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Off of play action, Luck. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And they'll play keep away from the returner, as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace.
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Nigel Bradham flying in and laying the lumber defensively. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted. All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter, because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
And he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line.
Michael Bennett's versatility, being able to play any position along the defensive front, allows him to make those types of plays. He finds good matchups and gets into the offensive backfield.
And there it works for a tackle for loss. Fielded at the 20. Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop, a man down on the return. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. On 2nd down, it's White. And he takes this down deep on the Cowboys side of the field. And he's going to get this all the way down to the Cowboys 13. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They go right back to White here on 1st down. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Luck. And it's caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant. They'll try and run it in with White. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Luck on the sneak. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Andrew Luck, his 11th touchdown of the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half.
And the sneak works on 2nd and goal. They didn't wait until it was 4th down to try and get him across.
No, and I think if you're the QB, you like these plays, don't you? I mean, you want to hand it off sometimes, but also prove that you can get it in there as well.
Yeah, it makes you really part of the gang, doesn't it? It makes you part of the crew, and it really bonds you with those big offensive linemen because then you get to celebrate with the big fellas.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. Sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. 2 of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Miller, and the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
3rd and long. It's Keenum. He completes this into the hands of Miller. And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Here's Sam Cook now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go up and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. It's a gain of 16 and a first down for the green and gold.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick six. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Here's Badgley now to try to add the PAT. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Like a freight train there, Derek Nottie with a sack.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll make it a second down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. A shotgun handoff now to Miller. And he's got this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Packers' 24.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on second down. They hit him with the draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on second and long when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play. I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
Badgley's kick is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Come on, baby. Let's go!
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat, make sure he touches it a few times, but as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? He's going to go deep for Conley. And that's caught inside the 30. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Throwing his lock. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. Touchdown, Packers! Chris Conley, his first touchdown on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. On is Hopkins now for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now Case Keenum and the offense heading back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Mitchell. And into the end zone, it's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. How about that for a little jolt right before intermission?
You talk about taking momentum into the half with you, and so many teams have an emphasis on trying to score in the last 2 minutes of a half to carry that with them. It's not often talked about scoring on defense, though. That's extra mo.
And now they may take the lead into the locker room as well. Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. It's up and good to make it 21-17. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now Case Keenum and the offense heading back onto the field. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that 2nd touchdown now. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Key 26.
Keenum now on first down and finding the tight end Hooper. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Throwing now is Keenum. His throw incomplete. Austin Hooper, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
He's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Underneath for Miller. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first. Keenum. He's got a man. That's Keenan Allen. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. It's a gain of 16 and the Dallas first down. Keenum now 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10. Throwing again is Keenum. Completes it to Lee. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room.
Now a first down throw. Keenum. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Again, it's Keenum. And this This is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Keenan Allen in the final seconds of the first half. And the Cowboys have retaken the lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that gives them a 3-point lead. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you, too, in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5.
There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go.
We'll begin up north at MetLife Stadium over in New Jersey, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Le'Veon Bell, over 100 yards on the afternoon thus far with a touchdown run as well.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. From the 36, Luck. That's caught by Hollister. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 34. Here's Lott. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
On 2nd and 10, Lott. He'll get this one to Switzer. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 19 yards there on the catch and run. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Derek Nottie came into the league with a reputation of being a good run defender, and he's done nothing to dispel that. Nice play there by him, and he's one of those guys, partner, that when you look at him in shorts and he goes through all the drills, he does just fine, but you put football pads on him, and he turns into the terror we just saw in the last play.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
This is caught. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
It's gotten to the point where we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers too.
Yeah, tight. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. James White, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Packers have retaken the lead. And nothing special there. They show they were going to run the football. They ran it. They got it in.
Like old-time football, right? Hey, this is exactly what we're going to do. Straight-ahead power, and they got it done.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That time, a 9-play drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
Come on now, let's go.
The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
That one good for 33 and a first.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
I'm coming after you. Okay.
From the 39, Keenum, it's caught over the middle, Hooper. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 27-yard line.
First and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Miller will get it. He has been busy today. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Lamar Miller, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to regain the lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that gives them a 3-point lead. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And Lamar Miller caps it off with a touchdown run. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. They had gotten the lead with the opening drive touchdown in the 3rd quarter. Now they relinquish that lead back. Could be in for an interesting second half.
It certainly appears that way, doesn't it? Almost turning into one of those pendulum games, right? Where it swings back and forth, and who's going to make the play that changes that maybe it puts it on one side and keeps it there.
Now a carry for White. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 13 yards, first down Packers.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Eluding the pressure right. And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab.
Let's go, boys.
A well-executed 22-yard gain.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get that
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
They'll fake it. Now Locke. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles.
That's right. Then gets with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. These Cowboys looking good here at AT&T Stadium. Of course, they were really good in this building last year. 7-1 in their 8 games played at home. The only loss was on a Monday night to Tennessee. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets them into a 3rd and 1 situation.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop it. Keenum to throw on 3rd and 1. And it's complete. Hooper. He's at the 40. Past the 20. 10. Touchdown, Cowboys. Austin Hooper. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Well, that's pretty impressive, Charles. It's one thing to be an elite speed wide receiver and have all that yards after the catch into the end zone, but from your tight end?
Yeah, you don't get that very often. What you're describing is more like a Tyreek Hill, a Devontae Adams, and Antonio Brown. You're not talking about a guy that lines up or can line up in line and look like an extra tackle on running plays. He took that bad boy downfield just like he was a scat back.
Before the game, he told me, I'm going to have a zinger or two today. And I was like, a zinger or two? I guess that's a zinger, right?
That's a zinger.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move
under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked. DeMarcus Lawrence, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now Luck. He's got Green, and he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. Defensively, they just lost him. He was waving his arms saying, I'm wide open. They found him.
Yeah, and it's so interesting about when a receiver starts to wave his arms because some guys, right off the line of scrimmage, they declare themselves open. You know, those guys throw the one arm up, hit me right now. In this case, he was so wide open that he was frantically trying to get his attention to make sure he got the football. And then I'm sure his only thought when the ball was in the air, don't drop it. Had too much time to think.
Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Luck. He's got the hookup with Conley. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first. You cannot write these guys off just yet. Not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
And now the throw hauled in by Green. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. On 2nd down, they'll run with White. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
2 yards and able to get the first down in the process. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. Off of play action, Luck rolling to his right. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Here's Luck. He's got his man here. It's Green. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up the 1st down.
Now White. Able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1. This is 3rd and goal now. 80,000 on their feet here in Arlington. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. Luck going to keep it on the sneak. Try to wedge his way in there. No signal. I don't think he got there. He didn't. They try the sneak, but not enough push. He doesn't get in. And instead of having a 1-score game, they'll remain 2 scores down. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. And now they have a little more space to maneuver from the 15, 1st and 10. Now Keenum. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
On 2nd down now, it's Miller. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the 1st there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
A simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. To throw on 2nd and 10. Luck. And this one complete to Reed. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They go play action here on first down. Looking long for his tight end. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Jordan Reed, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting, but I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. Hopkins with the extra point, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. The intended receiver there, Allen. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence, make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And the pressure gets to him again. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Here's Locke. He's going to go deep and got his man complete. A gain of right around 30 on a play that began way back inside the 5. On first down, it's Locke. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Jordan Reed was the intended target, and it's 2nd down.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter, maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there, because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. They begin with a run by Miller. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. The 40, the 20, 10. Touchdown, Cowboys. Lamar Miller, 77 yards. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing on second and long. Luck. That's caught at the 25. And he takes this down deep on the Cowboys side of the field. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 55 yards. Throwing is Luck. Completes it to Jason Witten. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. He'll get only 2 there, and it's second and goal. To throw again on second down. Luck. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Jordan Reed with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
This is taken at the 3. Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are. A first down carry now for Miller. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game.
Second and 5 at the 30-yard line. Here we go, G. Get off the field. Check it backer. Check it backer.
Again, it's Miller. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. On third down, Miller. Room here to run. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
It's first and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. Now the Packers going to burn their third and final timeout as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's second and goal. And they take a knee. The last 2 plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12.
4 down. Check.
To his knee goes Keenum, and that should be the ball game. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run.
Sports. It's in the game. EA Sports. It's in the game.